over, above and beyond. They did it last night and they won, so of course they're going to do it again. The Little League style breakdown prior to first pitch. Didn't hurt having Clayton Kershaw start last night's game or having Chase Utley club a home run, as the Dodgers took it 5-3 to even the series at a game apiece and make tonight the rubber match. Here's the lineup for Dave Roberts, and it's the familiar four at the top, at least what had become familiar over the first part of the second half. Taylor, Seager, Turner, Bellinger. Logan Forsythe starts at second with Austin Barnes catching, Kike Hernandez in left, and Yasiel Puig in right. So those are the Dodgers, and here's the men that they'll face. 28 years old, out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. His name is Matt Moore, and it has been a nightmare season for a guy that the Giants acquired last year largely with the Dodgers in mind.
He has an option too, and so they're going to have to decide whether they want to bring him back at close to $10 million or buy him out at $1 million. He's gotten him better in the second half of the season. August was his best month at a 4.71 ERA, but September he started out hot, only a 2.08, and it's mainly been the effectiveness of the curveball and the changeup that have made the improvement.
He's lost 13 games. That's more than anybody in the National League. His ERA is among the worst in the National League. And the Giants got him because the Dodgers were so miserable against left-handed pitching last year. Remember, he almost no-hit the Dodgers after they acquired him last year. Had a clunker against the Dodgers as well. This year, consistently bad against an LA team that's been consistently good against left-handed pitching. All right. All set. And off we go from San Francisco with a pitch outside. Closed captioning tonight brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. 62 degrees. It's been cool today in San Francisco. A little more how you imagine it this time of year. Taylor pops it up. It will stay in fair territory for Kelby Tomlinson in the first out of the game. Pretty muggy on Monday when temperature was up in the 80s and it was humid, but it's cooled off. Starting to feel like October's approaching.
As long as the clouds don't approach again and we have a non-rain delay game, that would be awesome.
Is there a chance of it? I didn't even check.
I checked, but seems like the systems are moving away from us, not towards us.
Ball one on Corey Seager. On Monday night, if you happen to not catch that one. We got one batter in after a long delay, but a 45-minute delay. Curtis Granderson strikes out. Corey Seager comes up, and before he sees a pitch, the sky's open again. And then it was delayed by close to 3 hours in a game that finished at 2:11 a.m. That one clips Seager, and the Dodgers have their first base runner.
We knew the weather was going to be threatening the rest of the series because that's why we waited around so long that night to get it in. They were afraid that the weather might be a threat throughout, so they made us stay here pretty late.
The Dodgers later that day technically able to snap that 11-game losing streak with last night's win. Turner drove in a run with a double in that game. One ball, no strikes. His average second to Charlie Blackmon in the National League at .326.
We didn't see any of those smiles yesterday. They needed to get a W under their belt.
High strike, 1-1. It had a playoff feel to it. Dave Roberts even was asked before the game today if he would have brought Kenley Jansen in for 4 outs had the Dodgers not had lost 11 in a row, and he very quickly said no. Turner rolls it foul, 1-2. We're that desperate to get one and end that streak.
And it was one of those games that it could have slipped away. They had a lot of opportunities to really blow the Giants out and did not take advantage of it. And then all of a sudden, The breaks that they had seen go against them for so long started to happen again. We end up with bases loaded and Buster Posey up there with the winning run on first. It was not easy.
We didn't want to say it last night, but we can say it now because they won. But can you imagine if they had lost that one for a 12th in a row?
It would have been keep all sharp objects away from anyone on the team.
Or at home wearing Dodger blue.
Exactly.
Seager at first, one away, no score first inning. And Matt Moore to Justin Turner with a 1-2 that's pounded in the air to center field. It sends Span back to the edge of the warning track for the second out. Seager tagging and advancing to second. And there safely. Brings up Cody Bellinger. We take a look at our Land Rover Performance Spotlight. He had 2 hits last night, and he was also walked intentionally 3 times. First Dodger to be walked intentionally 3 times in one game since 2004 when Jose Hernandez was that man. He would not be the first 1 or 10 or 100 guys that I think we would have guessed. They even threw a pitch to him one time and then eventually said, you know what, never mind. Putting him on again after they fell behind 1-0. Well, here he is with the man in scoring position and 2 out in the first. Chopping the first pitch foul. We talked about it during the pregame show, but one of the reasons you're excited about this offense moving forward is that the last few days they've gotten it going and they've done it without Bellinger's power.
His last home run was September 3rd. He's gone 33 at bats without an HR. Corey Seager's power's down as of late, so those two usually are going to chime in with a blast. Longest stretch for Cody is back in June through a little bit of July, where he went 38 at bats without a home run. Here now at 33 at bats, but the lingering effect of hitting 36 home runs was shown yesterday with all those intentional walks.
One and 2. The Dodgers scored those 5 runs yesterday to win 5-3, but they went 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position and stranded 13. They're a key hit or 2 away from that being a blowout. A win is a win, though. Never more so than yesterday. 0-2. Up and in. Bellinger somehow gets out of the way of it, and the count evens.
He and Corey Seager, for left-handers on a left-handed pitcher, they do the best job of staying in there. They don't get moved out of the lineup no matter what the handedness of the pitcher, and they do a wonderful job against lefties.
Bellinger yanks one to right. Pence won't get there. It's off the wall. Seager scores. Bellinger heads for third with an RBI triple to get the night started. There's some of that pop from Bellinger you were talking about that's been missing lately.
Hanging breaking ball that he hits on a line, doesn't get any backspin on it, but he hits right through it and over Pence's head. Great job of him watching Pence at the end of this play too to turn it into a triple, as he watched it carry him away from him, and then he swimmingly gets into third. Started to lose his balance between second and third.
Oh.
Fortunate to be on his feet over there at third base.
2-out chance for Logan Forsythe now. And we've all had that feeling, right? Where it's like, oh no, I'm going down. Whether that's just walking through the airport, you know, hustling, trying to catch a flight, or you're going downstairs and you feel that momentum going forward.
The phrase on the big league bench when that happens and you hit it is "sniper got him."
Forsythe now bangs one into the left center field gap. That gets all the way to the wall. RBI double Logan Forsythe, and the Dodgers come out swinging.
A lot of people second guessing Dave Roberts as they looked at the lineup today about why is Logan Forsythe hitting in the 5-hole. He's hitting, boy, just above 225, but off of lefties this year he's hitting 299, and with this double that'll put him at 300 or above. So Logan Forsythe has come over here to the Dodgers and really done what they hoped he could do, which was to help them against left-handers.
Triple from Bellinger, double from Forsythe with 2 outs here in the first inning, and Cody earns himself a congratulations from Champ Peterson, Jock's brother.
I wonder if Champ was at the middle of the scrum today, giving the pep talk. I wonder if he was there yesterday.
Strike one on Austin Barnes. Well, the problem for Champ is his schedule might have just gotten a lot busier for September if he was.
Yeah, they might not let him go.
Yeah, I don't know if he was planning on taking the plane to D.C. tomorrow. One ball and 1 strike. Well, the news item out of Dave Roberts' media session today is that Austin Barnes is set to take on more at-bats. He's pretty much been in a strict platoon lately and has worked himself into that platoon, facing left-handed starters like Matt Moore tonight. But Dave Roberts admitting that the plan is to start to get him more time against righties as well. And that obviously comes at Yasmani Grandal's expense.
Not to get too heavy in the numbers, but left-handers he is hitting 242. Right-handers he's hitting 360.
Three and one. And that is one of the best averages against left-handed or against right-handed pitchers by right-handed hitters in baseball.
If you take a minimum of 50 at bats.
Which again is not a ton, but it's enough where
it's a sample.
Yeah. And so he's making the starts against lefties simply because he's a righty.
There's managers around the big leagues with a lot smaller sample sizes picking matchups from their bench and resting starters with 15, 17 at bats. So 50 at bats is pretty good.
So it's by the book that he's in there now against lefties, but soon by the numbers, by the track record, he'll be in there against righties as well.
Dodger lineup has been built on track record. Justin Turner worked from his way from a utility guy to a starter to a long-term contract. Chris Taylor worked himself from swing changes to getting cut out of spring training to joining the team to hitting so well that they play him wherever they could.
Barnes rips one down the left field line. It's hooking foul.
Austin Barnes, with his opportunity, has moved himself into a position where the manager is now verbalizing that he will get more playing time. And by the way, at the most important time of the year. I'll tell you what, the faces on the bench are so relaxed compared to yesterday.
So right, compared to the last 2 weeks.
Different.
Barnes again out in front.
They are exercising facial muscles that haven't been active for 20 days.
They'll be sore tomorrow. My cheeks hurt, Doc. RBI hits from Bellinger and Forsythe. Dodgers in front 2-0 in the blink of an eye in this one. Barnes now shoots one the other way foul. He has clobbered all 3 of these foul balls, now just trying to straighten them out.
He doesn't have a walk or a hit in this at bat yet, but it's a quality at bat. This is a battle, and he's winning it so far.
Matt Moore, who has been better against right-handed hitting, brings another payoff. And Barnes takes ball 4. Yet another impressive trip up there for Austin Barnes, and they're at first and second. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, already called upon.
26 pitches. You want to give him a little bit of a rest, and maybe you've seen something. Matt Moore has had the reputation in his rough outings to really go through his pitch count very quickly. It's not just getting knocked out of the game in the second through the fourth because of ineffectiveness. It's because he's thrown 90-95 pitches. Doesn't happen in a hurry as far as pitch count, but sometimes it happens as far as the inning count.
Kike Hernandez comes up. Kike has been in the lineup against left-handed pitchers pretty consistently, and that remains the case here, even with that career line against Matt Moore of 1 for 17. Everybody's kind of looking around like, what are we waiting on? Is that helmet way more heavily pine-tarred than usually for Kike?
It is, and I don't know if it's news. Are those prescription glasses? I've never seen him with clear goggles.
Well, Kike's been struggling. Guys will do all kinds of things to try and break out of it. Some of them logical, some of them totally illogical. Why would added pine tar on your helmet make you hit better? But if he hits, I bet he's going to keep on wearing that pine tarred helmet up there. His socks are a little bit different too. How's he going to know what it is that's leading to his hitting if he starts hitting?
I know. He has no base.
Right. 2 on, 2 out, 2-0. Strike 1.
He had 2 possible hits yesterday. An unbelievable play at shortstop that erased him on a possible infield single, and then hit a bullet to right field that was caught.
Two and 2. A 30-pitch first inning for Matt Moore.
Even with the Dodgers leading 2-0 during the losing streak, this would still feel like a big situation. Like, we got to tack on. We got to get a hit here. It's just completely different. What a difference a day makes in a W.
Winning cures all.
Sure does.
Forsythe at second, Barnes at first, and a 2-2. Hernandez dribbles it along third foul. Magic number is 8 right now. With every Dodger win, with every Diamondbacks loss, that number will drop when it hits 0. Dodgers will have a division championship. And the bullpen stirs. Wow. That ball's pounded to left, but right at Parker, and the inning is over. And the Dodgers make Matt Moore throw 32 pitches and score twice with some ringing contact. They've given you Darvish a 2-0 lead to work with. He tries to get on track after this.
It's really cool. We got to do that sometime.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no like fire risk.
No,
Right?
you got a whole bay out there of water.
That is very cool. Out in the Cove, we've had a couple of splash hits in this series. Home runs out there. Here comes the Giants lineup for the final game of this series with Hunter Pence to lead things off. Then Jared Parker. Denard Span has been hot. Posey in the middle of the lineup with Crawford and Hundley. Pablo Sandoval, a late addition. We'll tell you why when it gets to his spot in the order. And then Kelby Tomlinson at second. Against Yu Darvish, who was so good in his first start as a Dodger. Pretty darn good in his second start as well. Trying to get back to that. He's been struggling lately.
Hasn't pitched into the 6th in 3 starts, and that's the longest time in his career that he's ever done that.
Misses with the first one to Pence.
Going 5 innings, 3 innings, and 4 1/3. The key ingredient is getting ahead.
He's fallen behind 2-0. It's been a constant series of mechanical tweaks for Darvish, who is analytical, mechanical by nature. You'll often see him on the mound physically trying to work through things mechanically. A lot of times guys will think through things, but rarely do you see them publicly standing on the mound grinding over little things mechanically, but you will see that from him.
It's like he's doing forms. And that's been the key right there, that hitters are not chasing his pitches where he tries to expand the strike zone, and mainly because he's behind in the count.
Bottom of the zone for a strike, 3-2.
They'd caught a break there emotionally. Want to come out here and have a good outing after Clayton Kershaw. The rotation has really struggled other than Clayton.
Up the middle, diving stop Logan Forsythe, but that's all. Hunter Pence 7 for 11 in this series.
Darvish might have got a piece of this with his glove. It was hit so hard that even if he gets a piece of it, maybe not. Logan Forsythe, though, almost an outstanding play. He knocks it down, and as he reaches for it, kind of spikes it like a fork with his fingers and doesn't get it in the first try. That second attempt is too late.
And it brings up Parker. Darvish falls behind him too.
Yeah, it seemed like about 4 rotations ago it was Clayton Kershaw and then a whole bunch of great starters behind him, and it was like, I don't see how they're going to eliminate anybody out of the rotation when it comes to the playoffs. Now it's like Clayton Kershaw and who is going to pitch behind him.
1-1. Yeah, you're right. It's totally flipped from how they're going to choose to, man, who is going to step forward to be that game 2 and potentially game 5 starter in a short series. Here's a 1-1. There's a sharp slider, strike 2.
Darvish has always had a lot of elite pitches, but he's also been a guy that's always gone into deep counts and could easily get back into counts with his elite stuff.
Tap to the right side. Forsythe's only play is to first, and he makes it look easy. You know, as much as Logan Forsythe has struggled at the plate this year, with the batting average at .227 coming in, he has been steady in the field.
There's a championship on the line, division title on the line, and you want a ground ball hit to somebody and record the routine out or even the exceptional out. That's one you would choose right there.
We mentioned Hunter Pence has been red hot in this series. So is Denard Span. Off of the bench last night to go 2 for 2. Had a home run in the opener. 4 for 5 overall. First time Darvish has gotten ahead, strike one.
D-backs lead the Rockies 3-0 at the end of 3.
Off of Darvish, they've got Pence hung up. And now we'll try to execute the rundown. Seager to Turner. They get the out there, and at second, a double play. And so Darvish winds up facing the minimum in this first inning as he knocks it down and starts an untraditional double play.
Play that outstanding rundown by the Dodgers to record 2 outs. Darvish gets it to Seager, and this is where it really gets good because he knows he wants to get the ball going back in the other direction quickly. And Justin Turner, great feet, charging the feed from Seager, so he cuts down the distance on the runner and the second throw. Double play.
And Puig bunts it foul to open the second. And that throw from Turner, that's not an easy one. Those short throws sometimes that you're not used to making. That's from what, about 50 feet or so? Having to short arm it and put it on target like that, not easy.
And knowing you're going to make the quick exchange from the tag to that throw and do it all accurately.
Puig gets this one off the end of the bat. It falls in. Atrocious. Second time this week, Puig is reached with a miscommunication in right field from Bruce Bochy's club.
Both times it has been pop-ups that somebody could settle under, and Hunter Pence has not been the captain on it. The one the other night was a little bit farther down the line, and it wasn't quite up there like this one, and this is just absolutely, it's irresponsible by Hunter Pence to just ease up. He's done that twice where it looks like, I don't know if he's making a sound or if he's saying take it when he should be saying I got it.
Now Darvish lays it down. Well done by you, Darvish, to advance the runner. Now Moore nearly throws it away. Covering Tomlinson has it. One gone. They have ruled it E9. I didn't know they could do that.
I didn't know they could do that either. I mean, it could have got lost in the moon.
I guess it could have. Yeah.
I mean, a guy loses it in the sky and they'd call it a double or a triple or wherever he reaches.
But if it's the moon, it's an error.
I guess.
Right.
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
An error on a ball that nobody's within 5 feet of, even though they should have been. Chris Taylor with one out. Grounds one to third. Backhand play, Pablo Sandoval. He throws wide and pulls Posey off of the bag. We were talking about it the other night. As painful as it was to watch the Dodgers lose 11 in a row, 16 of 17. Look on the other side, where the Giants are 57-90 with the second worst record in baseball, and making back-to-back plays like this.
Inexcusable, really, the last couple. At least the one by the Panda was a physical error, but that has definitely been a mental error out in right field with the couple that have dropped during the series.
First and second for Seager, who yanks a breaking ball towards the right field corner, but it hooks foul. Good to see some pop off his bat, even if it didn't stay fair. That extra base power has been lacking lately. One ball, one strike.
That looked like a cross up right there, the way Hundley tried to catch that ball and just kind of batted it down. Anytime your catcher gets a glove on something where there's a cross up, you're just glad to have the runners in the same place.
Runners take off, swing and a miss, throw down off of Sandoval's glove, and everybody's safe.
Yasiel Puig with the jump. Looks like he's going to be out, but the clank at third. The ball was there in plenty of time. Sandoval just can't get it in the webbing. So when the glove comes over, there's no ball with it.
Good chance here to double the lead for Seager. They have the, I think we got it fixed, but they had the errors on the wrong line on the line score. Now put it down to the bottom. No runs on one hit, 2 errors for the Giants. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors for the Dodgers.
The way it's going for the Giants, the scoreboard operator could have a bad night too.
Absolute sadness. Sorry. Seager looks at strike 3, 2 out.
Corey with a wry smile as we take a look at the Audi pitch cast, and it is right there, the perfect pitcher's pitch. Borderline low, borderline away, but touching the strike zone.
Two gone for Turner. Dodgers trying to take advantage of a good opportunity here in the second. Some poor defense from the Giants offering this opportunity up. Turner hit one on the screws his first time, but just fell short in straightaway center field. One of the hardest parks in baseball to homer in. Giants by far dead last in the majors in homers. Now part of that is the personnel. Don't have many home run hitting guys, but a big part of it is the park. 2 balls, no strikes. Quickly 3-0 on Turner with first base open, but Cody Bellinger due next. The green light if he wants it. Ball 4. Second walk issued by Moore. And the Dodgers have loaded them up for Bellinger, who his first time up ripped a triple as we look back on our Carl scan.
Off-speed pitch that was up that he picked on, and with his wheels, the moment he saw it not getting fielded cleanly in right field with the carom, he was off to third.
Puig reached on an air to start the inning. Taylor reached on an air himself. Turner walks. More pitches. And Bellinger swings and misses.
Real close to the offensive explosion we've been waiting for from the Dodger offense, with Cody up there with 36 home runs and bases loaded.
Been right on the brink of it lately. Pitching has been more the issue than the hitting the last 4 or 5 games for the most part. But finishing off opportunities has been what's been keeping them from having that explosion you're talking about. One and two.
In Cody's short time here in the big leagues, he's developed a few different approaches to pitchers and situations. Wouldn't be surprised to see the 2-strike swing here.
Take strike 3. The Dodgers leave them loaded here in the second.
Friday on an all-new episode of Backstage Dodgers, top prospect Walker Buehler makes his Dodgers debut. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Hankook Tires, Friday after the postgame on Sportsnet LA.
Yu Darvish back to work in the bottom of the second with the Dodgers in front 2-0. He'll face the middle third of the Giants order, and it's Buster Posey to lead it off. Ball one. He's missed with the first pitch to 3 of the first 4 that he's faced.
Two 2-0 lead with a 2-0 count, almost a cardinal sin. Mentally, you should be a little bit looser once your team breaks on top.
A pop up. Will Bellinger have room? He will. Posey the first out of the second. Here's Brandon Crawford.
Would you rather be the Cleveland Indians and win 21 in a row now, or be the Dodgers and have been ice cold and start winning ways up again?
I mean, you'd rather be the team that's won 21 in a row.
I know, but it's an interesting question when all of a sudden, you know, they're not the most important games of the year yet. I thought about that when, you know, you saw the Indians win their 21st today.
How about that?
It's a great run.
American League record. A strike 1-1 on Crawford. And you know what they've done it with? They've done it with starting pitching. Obviously they've hit 2, but Dave Roberts talked about it today in his media session. Anytime you see a team run together a streak like that, starting pitching is going to be at the forefront of it. Sharp pitch, 1-2. Anytime you see a team lose a lot of games in a row, well, starting pitching is probably going to be at the forefront of it.
Some part of the pitching staff is. We've seen bullpens fail and really take teams into tailspins. There's a lot of guys on this staff of the Dodgers that are trying to get it together. Rick Honeycutt grinding it out on a daily basis with seems to always have a new patient.
Darvish's first strikeout.
He's very adept at getting guys to expand the strike zone and walk them off the plate, but when he's most effective is when he's in the strike zone. The balls are sharp enough and still misses the bat.
Now faces Nick Hundley with the bases empty and 2 out. Darvish in his last outing, even though he was batted around for 5 runs, he did reach a big milestone, 1,000 strikeouts in his career, becoming the fastest player in the history of the sport to get there. Sometimes that has also been part of the knock on him, that he hunts strikeouts too much. And you've seen the high pitch counts, long innings, inability to get deep in games because of it at times. Strike 1.
Clayton Kershaw was going through the Giants yesterday like a hot knife through butter. Pitch count was way down early.
Early in his career, he was similar to how Darvish has been pretty much his whole career, and that is really trying for strikeouts, nibbling, and the pitch counts tend to get out of control. But Kershaw realized a few years into his career that he couldn't survive like that, at least couldn't be elite pitching like that, and has become a guy that you can rely on to go 6, 7, 8 innings on a given night.
He didn't stay at that end of the spectrum very long. He is one of the more efficient strikeout pitchers there is in all of baseball.
Hundley pokes it over Bellinger for a base hit. So how do you strike that balance? I mean, obviously strikeouts are a good thing, so it's hard to paint it in a bad light, but how do you strike the balance between using the great stuff and not trying too hard with it and finding your pitch count way out of control?
I would think that the best strategy is to try and get quick outs when a strikeout is not necessary. And so if you give up a leadoff double and the scoreboard dictates that you don't want to get that runner to third with less than 2 outs, you might work that count towards a strikeout. If you give up a leadoff triple and it's the 7th inning and that run is a huge run, you've got to work towards using your stuff to get a strikeout. But when you don't need a strikeout, you just want outs and you want them quickly, work a little bit more to the middle of the plate, work a little bit more at getting weak contact and getting it quickly.
Pablo Sandoval, strike 1.
Sometimes easier said than done because some guys' stuff lends itself to foul balls, lends itself to foul ticks, and the way they get their swings and misses is to try and get the hitter to swing at a ball. So movement is really the thing that gets you the quick outs in the strike zone with weak contact, where guys that throw hard but it's straight, they have a tendency to need to get guys to go up the ladder with them, need to get guys to swing and miss at straight pitches that are in the strike zone. It's a little harder.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Sandoval.
Clayton is so good at making the ball look like a strike, end up a ball, and then he's also very good at just attacking in the strike zone. His control is really the control of a non-power pitcher, you know, but he's a power pitcher with a non-power pitcher's control.
Sandoval down on strikes. Couple of strikeouts in the inning for Darvish. Couple of runs for the offense. Couple of innings in the book. Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Best records in baseball with a few weeks left to go. The Dodgers still 3.5 games better than the Indians, even though Cleveland has ripped off that historic 21-game winning streak. Washington Nationals next on the schedule for the Dodgers this weekend in Washington, D.C. And a battle for home field advantage in the National League. And, of course, when you're looking at the Indians there, battle for home field advantage potentially in the World Series. Ball one on Logan Forsythe, and off we go in the third. The 21 consecutive wins for the Indians. That beats the 2002 Oakland A's, the Moneyball A's for the best record in American League history. Ties the 1935 Chicago Cubs kind of for the best winning streak period, because the record 26 in a row from the 1916 Giants. There's a tie in there. So it's an unbeaten streak, but it's not necessarily a winning streak of 26.
Be an interesting debate. Mulder, Hudson, Zito, Moneyball, starting pitching, winning streaks.
Jonah Hill. No, didn't follow there. He's in the movie Moneyball. Actor, funny guy.
Oh, okay. I guess I got to go watch that movie.
You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's a good one.
When I found out that Hudson, Mulder, and Zito weren't mentioned in the book or the movie, I'm like, how can it be accurate?
3-2 on Forsythe.
It can't be completely about on-base percentage.
2 hours straight. On-base percentage, nothing else.
That's why I didn't want to watch the movie.
I'm kidding. No, it is good.
All right, I'll watch it.
Forsythe stays alive. On-base percentage has kind of been Logan's saving grace at times this year. One number you can point to and say, this is why he continues to get opportunities. 357 right now. League average about 320. Thanks to the highest walk rate of Forsythe's career. Swings through an elevated fastball here for the first out of the third. Lone walk that he's issued 2 walks, and one of those tonight came to Austin Barnes back in the first. Bends one in for a strike. One and two. You know, Austin Barnes was part of a battle for playing time coming out of spring training, like he's part of a battle for playing time now headed into the postseason. But that battle coming out of spring training was for the backup role. It's a hot shot that Sandoval cuts off. 2 up, 2 down. Remember, it went down to the final days of spring training, him beating out Bobby Wilson, the veteran who had signed a minor league contract just to make the opening day roster.
That'll build some calluses on you mentally and probably helped him through the year. But I know the biggest thing that he has admitted is the fact that he feels like he belongs, and it started to slow everything down for him, even just when he get one at bat over a 3-4 day period.
Hernandez gets under it. This has not been a sure thing this week. But Span catches this one, finishes off the first 1-2-3 inning of the game for Matt Moore.
Fun mobile app for live Dodger baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Dodger home screen icons and app features as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today.
Yu Darvish has held the Giants off of the board through 2. Spent his entire career in the American League before coming to the Dodgers at the trade deadline. So this is his first career outing against San Francisco. In with strike 1 on Kelby Tomlinson. Homered against Clayton Kershaw last night. Only the 3rd home run of his career, and the first one in 2 years. At that moment, it was like, really? Really? This is happening again? Uphill from there, though.
Over the last couple nights, the 4th inning has been good to the Dodgers. 4 runs in both 4 innings, 4th innings. Chase Utley lit the fuse with the home run yesterday, a splash hit.
Did you happen to see the article on Sporting News today making Chase Utley's Hall of Fame case?
I would vote for him.
Tomlinson pokes it foul. By wins above replacement, and oh no, down he goes. His WAR is negative. By wins above replacement, Chase Utley, one of the greatest second basemen ever to play. And you know, some people totally dislike using WAR as a stat. You don't hear us using it a ton, but everybody's measured by the same criteria on it. And it measures him as one of the greats to play the position. Ground ball to second, where Logan Forsythe waits. 1 out.
Dodgers were down, but Chase Utley evened the score. Johnny Cueto tried to get one by him, and he planted it in the bay. It was not just a short home run, that was a blast.
1 out for the pitcher, Matt Moore. And as we so often talk about with Chase Utley, his value, it's undermined by any number, even if the number's good, because of what he does intangibly, at least from a numbers standpoint. And unfortunately, when you're looking at Hall of Fame cases, you've got to have numbers that pop to have a really good chance. You don't see too many guys get in because of the intangibles.
One of the edges is also if you were part of a championship team, and he was part of a few, and the other thing is the All-Star game, which he was been in a lot. So yeah, the intangibles are hard to evaluate, but he is definitely somebody who I have been around now for a long time. He makes everybody around him better.
Past the outstretched glove of Darvish, and Logan Forsythe busy in this 3rd inning, 2 gone. Be fun to see Chase Utley go back to Philadelphia again next week. His first trip there last year, boy, was that memorable or what, with the ovation that he got, tip of the cap. And then he homered twice in his first game back there, because of course he did.
How many players have ever gotten a curtain call on the road? It's pretty special.
Second time through the order for San Francisco. Here's Hunter Pence. That's one of the 2 Giants hits so far. 1-1. One and two.
Get him out here. The next pitch or two, the pitch count will be in pretty good order. You'd like to be about at 12 an inning, but he'll be close to 15 an inning.
That's the first time in his career he's gone 3 outings in a row without pitching into the 6th. Left that one over the plate, and it's hit foul. Part of that's contingent on giving up a lot of runs and hits, but that works hand in hand with the high pitch counts that he's run. Fairly under control here. Ready for a 2-2 to Hunter Pence. Pence 7 for 11 in this series. One of his best stretches of the year. Guy having his worst offensive season. Making Darvish work with the bases empty and 2 gone in the 3rd. He's got his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. We've played 3 in San Francisco. The Dodgers trying to make it back-to-back wins, leading 2-0. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, the new benchmark of minivans. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger combo, a small fries and a small drink, limited time only. Yasiel Puig leads off the 4th for the Dodgers, up 2-0 against Matt Moore, who breaks one in for strike 1. Joe Davis or Hershiser, Alana Rizzo. Final game in this ballpark this year between these teams. It has been a house of horrors for the Dodgers over recent seasons. Trying to take a series here for the first time since September of 2014. Almost the same exact dates that year.
Season series is 8-7 Dodgers this game, and then 3 in LA.
Puig lifts one to left center field. Parker's back on it, over his head and off the wall. Puig has a double to start the fourth. Barely.
Take a look at the Morongo Casino slow-mo cam. Yasiel Puig continues to swing the bat really well. And this one off a lefty should be 2 for 2. I think he'll end up appealing that pop-up that dropped in, and I think he should get a hit out of that one. But this one he definitely earned.
Darvish followed Puig in the second inning and sacrificed him off on the on the first pitch that he saw.
So in his last start he batted left-handed. This start he's batting right-handed. I don't know if it's on where he's comfortable or the handedness of the pitcher.
His home run in his career came as a righty. He's a natural left-handed hitter, but moved over to the right side after his Tommy John surgery to protect that right elbow. The front arm, the one that takes the brunt of it as a hitter. Dave very animated about something.
He wants him to bunt the ball to third. Anytime with a man on second, if you can get the third baseman to field the ball, you're going to get your guy over, unless they get in the wheel play where they send the shortstop over there. So you bunt the ball firmly to the third baseman. And then if they're not sending the shortstop over there to cover third, then you're going to get him over.
Was Dave there saying bunt to the middle? Force Matt Moore to field it?
You can do that too, but bunting it back to the pitcher is not, especially a left-hander, not the right thing to do.
Well, then what was that?
I think he might be even trying to get him to get the bat out on the proper angle.
One and two.
The Dodger pitchers lately have been working really hard on their bunting, and they have all year, but lately they've hit the skids as far as executing it.
Really much of the year this has been a weakness, though. Pitchers bunting.
Bob Guerin works with them tirelessly before the games at home.
Bunts through it. It gets by. He's not headed anywhere.
Should run.
Now he does. And is thrown out.
If he'd have run right away, he'd have made it easy.
But the job without execution is accomplished because the wild pitch leads Puig to taking third.
He's getting a bunch of fist bumps, but in his own mind he is upset and angered at himself. Just going to have to separate that at bat from pitching and get his head on straight.
There's no warm greeting from Dave Roberts on that one. Saw him walk behind Dave and pretty stone-faced about it. With one out, Chris Taylor has a man at third. Another situation for a Dodger hitter to be able to bring a runner home. Situational hitting has been right at the top of Dave Roberts' list as far as the things that he wants to see improve down the stretch.
the starting pitchers don't get a handle on the bunting, you better have a very deep bullpen when it comes to playoff baseball, because it could come down to a sacrifice bunt of winning and losing a series. You will end up having to pinch hit for your pitcher in a bunt situation in the 5th or 6th, because you got a tie game or a 1-run deficit, or you're looking for an insurance run, and all of a sudden you're going to use one more reliever and lose a piece off your bench just to get a runner over.
Hard ground ball to short. Here comes Puig. Crawford has him cut down.
Batter's average goes up about 100 to 120 points when you bring the infield in. That ball was hit well enough to get through, but right at Crawford.
So the Dodgers fail to take advantage of Puig's leadoff double. 2 outs for Seager. Strike one.
Dodgers continue to do a great job setting the table, but they continue to be frustrated with not putting a lot of crooked numbers up there on the board. 2nd inning, that bases loaded, and Corey Seager up there with 1 out. Ended up striking out.
Fly ball to right field. Pence slides over on it, makes the catch, and the inning is over. To the bottom of the 4th we go. 2-0. Since we welcome inside Joe Davis, Oral Hershiser. It sure is a whole lot more fun when they win, isn't it, as we saw last night. But so far in this one, while they have the lead, it feels like it should be larger.
Feels like it should be larger, but coming into tonight's game, I thought the most important part of the Dodger team was the guy on the mound, Darvish. You need to get the starting rotation really throwing the ball the way they did most of the year. The offense has had its opportunities, and you'll be frustrated if all of a sudden they lose this game by 1 run, and you could look back and say, we didn't get the runner in from third, we didn't score with bases loaded, 1 out. But if Darvish does his job, this could be close to enough runs.
Jared Parker leading off the inning, 2, 3, and 4 for the Giants. Ball and a strike. Only the Padres have scored fewer runs per game this year than San Francisco. One and two. Been an injury-riddled year for Jared Parker. He won the left field job coming out of spring training, but then in early April, in a game that Matt Moore was pitching like tonight, broke his collarbone, crashing into the wall trying to track down a long fly ball. And missed almost 100 games because of that. Corks this one on a line to Puig and right, who catches the sinking liner for the first out.
Join us September 22nd when the Dodgers play host to the Giants beginning at 7:10. Stay after the game and enjoy Friday night fireworks presented by Denny's. The Pyro Mix will be set to Tommy Lasorda's favorites. Those hits will be in celebration of his 90th birthday. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Happy early birthday, Tommy. Is it early or is it? Yeah, didn't we just celebrate it?
His actual birthday, I think, is September 24th.
Okay, so we're still ahead of it. Bernard Span took strike one. So happy early birthday.
The fireworks start early.
Uh-huh. That's a strike. It was actually caught a ball on the first pitch, so now 1-1. Bernard Span, an all-star football player in high school. Actually had scholarship offers from some big-time programs. Miami, Florida State, both wanted him to play wide receiver. Well, the Twins drafted him in the first round, and so he went that route. Bottom of the zone, strike two. Made his debut with the Twins in 2008, 5 years there, then to the Nationals for a few years, and now in the second year of a 3-year contract that he signed with the Giants before last season.
You know, Joe, I was actually wrong. Tommy's birthday is exactly on September 22nd.
Okay.
Born in 1927. As long as Wikipedia is right, I should have known the Skip's birthday.
You can always trust Wikipedia, right?
No.
2-2 on Span. Well, the good thing about it is if you're going to trust part of it, you just look and see what they're citing and go to the links that they're citing.
Gotcha.
At least give you an added layer of validity.
The first layer of research before you.
Right. Because anybody can go on there and update a page. Somebody actually updated your name the other night.
Great.
Hard grounded to Forsythe. He's got it. 2 up, 2 down. Yeah, you told this story about somebody making fun of your name, and you yelled back,
"What kind of a name is Oral?" And I yelled back,
"Famous." And somebody logged on to Wikipedia soon after, and your official first paragraph says Oral, quote, famous, unquote, Hershiser.
Being this close to Tommy Lasorda's birthday, it should say Oral Bulldog Hershiser.
And I'm sure it's getting fixed as we speak.
Isn't there a way to kind of lock that out after you prove to Wikipedia that I'm editing it and I'm going to tell you what the truth is?
I'm not sure.
I would think that there Be some kind of standards.
I'm not a wiki expert.
No, me neither.
Buster Posey with 2 out. Our producer Mike Levy says he's going to check Wikipedia and see what they say about
their standards.
About that, yeah.
We should edit their page.
2-0. Off of the hands at short, Corey Seager. And Yu Darvish has retired 9 of the last 10 with a 2-0 lead as we march on to the 5th. On Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota's clearance countdown is on. Get huge savings on the last of the 2017 Corollas. Back in San Francisco, where the Dodgers 2 first-inning runs enough at this point. On to the 5th, 3, 4, and 5 against Matt Moore. Well, the 2 starting pitchers tonight have something in common you may not realize. Matt Moore and Yu Darvish both grew up in Japan. Matt's father was in the Air Force and spent many of his years in Okinawa. He was born in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, on an Air Force base. His dad worked on special ops helicopters, and then they moved to Okinawa when he was 7. Few years there before settling in New Mexico, which is where Matt is one of the top high school prospects in the country. Turner wraps one down the left field line, and it drops in fair into the corner for a leadoff double.
Top spin, not a lob, but a top spin shot down the line there, and Justin sees that it's fair right away and takes off. That worked Works out quite well, but Dave Roberts has said he's evaluating the situational hitting and wants to see that get better. Well, man on second, no out. Here's a situation. Had bases loaded, 1 out, and also had a man on third and 1 out.
They've gone 2 for 8 in those situations tonight with runners in scoring position. Bellinger, the batter here. More pitches, and misses with a changeup. Drove in the first Dodger run tonight with a triple in the first inning, and then scored the second run on a Forsythe double. Bellinger says it seems like it's been a year since he debuted here in this ballpark in late April. You know, it's only been several months, but so the grind of a major league season, the 162 compared to the 140 or 144 in the minors, it's real. Significant difference. Turns on this one. Forget about it. Cody Bellinger splashes one into the cove. Number 37 is a splash hit for the rookie.
'37th home run now, and he is climbing up that list. Mr. Frank Robinson is actually in the house here tonight in San Francisco. His 37th home run on his 36th at bat since his last one. The last one was on September 3rd off of Brad Hand. This one, Matt Moore gives up.
Both off lefties. Moore to Forsythe with a 1-0. That buzzes him in. 2 balls and no strikes. Measured at 441 feet for Cody Bellinger. We talked about it off of the top. One of the big reasons you're excited about this offense moving forward is that they've showed signs of life in recent days without his power production and without the ability to really finish off opportunities.
It was hard yesterday for him to have power with 3 intentional walks, but they pitched to him here. But you are right. Corey Seager's pop has not been there throughout, and Cody Bellinger's has been a little silent lately.
No swing, 3-1. Chatting with Sean Wooten, one of the hitting instructors in the organization. Moore's 3-1 pitch is fouled off. Forsythe hits it off his foot. It was a similar play to that derailed his season early, fracturing the toe. Looks at strike 3, 1 gone. Barnes is 0 for 1. Cuts it inside, 1-0. Matt Moore, former #1 prospect in all of baseball. There's a time where he was rated above Bryce Harper and Mike Trout. Debuted when he was 22 in 2011. That was with Tampa Bay. And had 2 really good seasons before undergoing Tommy John surgery, and has not been the same guy since coming back. His 90th pitch of the night is a 2-1 to Barnes after time. Good take. Ball 3. Second start of Matt Moore's career was in the American League Division Series 2011 against the Texas Rangers, and he was dazzling. 7 shutout innings in that game. He's walked Barnes. 2 months later, signed a 6-year contract. It was looking like he was headed for a career that would have multiple All-Star appearances. He had 1, but has not been the same since that injury. And in this one, won't last more than 4 1/3 as Bruce Bochy comes out and takes it from him. Into the San Francisco bullpen with the Dodgers in front 4-0.
Standout high school senior athlete, then nominate them for a chance to be named a Spectrum Sports Championship Drive Scholar Athlete and receive a $2,500 college scholarship. Go to SpectrumChamp.com now for more information.
Here's Kyle Crick replacing Matt Moore, his second appearance in this series. Dodgers with a 4-0 lead over the Giants, trying to take their first series in this ballpark in 3 years. They're trying to string together back-to-back wins after the 11-game slide.
No curveball in Crick's arsenal, but he does have a slider and a changeup if he's going to throw you something off speed.
Hey, by the way, Kike an 0-for-2 start is back to a clean helmet, and this one has a face guard. Tries to lay off, can't. Strike 1. Hey, your Wikipedia page is updated.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, you are now Oral Bulldogo Hershiser.
Great.
And it's official. It's on there. So
I will never visit that page ever again.
You spend a lot of time on there as it is.
I've never been there.
0-2.
So I guess it was wrong to say ever again.
So you get ready to go down for the night, check your email, maybe check Twitter, Facebook, and then check your Wikipedia, huh, Hershiser?
Yep. Take a picture of the page, see if anything's different from the day before.
Yeah, did I really throw 59 scoreless innings in a row? I still did. What a day.
That's enough out of you.
Hernandez down on strikes, 2 away. Well, Puig got to the 8th spot today. Is technically right now 1 for 2, although you think there's a good chance that first one gets overturned to a single. It was a fly ball that fell in between the right fielder Pence and the second baseman Tomlinson. Nobody touched it.
Interesting that no one touches the ball, and it's landed about 7-8 feet between 2 fielders, and they give the right fielder an error. It's almost like rewriting the rules. I don't understand how it can happen.
Well, I think it should be adjusted moving forward in baseball. You should have a team error.
Yep.
Pitcher shouldn't be taxed for that. But as it stands now, I'm with you. By the book, that should be a hit, seems like. Strike 2.
You got the stolen base late in the game that turns into defensive indifference. There are ways to adjust things, make it a little bit more accurate. That's an 0-2 pitch. That was a mistake that Yasiel wishes he could have back. We're hoping now that he gets another opportunity at something like that. Elevated near the middle of the plate.
Now we're close to the plate with this one, 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes.
You just don't develop good eyes all of a sudden, but you can develop mechanics that give you good eyes. And boy, Yasiel is proving that his vision has always been good.
Strikes out on a fastball, and the inning comes to an end. But Cody Bellinger clubs his 37th home run of the season. This one a cannonball into McCovey Cove, halfway home in a 4-0 game. his first in San Francisco, and he is now homered in every ballpark that he's played at least 3 games in.
That's some consistent power, and it's a very fast start to a career.
Brandon Crawford, the lead off this 5th. Darvish, kind of quietly, has put up 4 zeros in this game and has settled in over the last few innings, retiring 9 of the last 10 San Francisco Giants. Crawford, one of the 3 strikeout victims thus far. 1 ball and no strikes. What have you thought of Darvish tonight?
Better because he's throwing more strikes. A little better also that when he falls behind, he's been able to battle back in there. The slider is much better as he hangs one right there and comes underneath it. But what we had noticed when he was struggling here for me is that the sharpest pitches were out of the strike zone and the best breaking pitches were out of the strike zone. But now he seems to have better stuff in the strike zone tonight.
Like that.
Exactly. The slider goes straight down.
This one catches the corner, evens the count at 2-2. Huntley and Sandoval to follow in the inning. Caught at first by Bellinger.
Ball is ripped. Cody has quick reflexes. We saw his ability to jump yesterday at first base and can move left, right, and go up.
With the bases empty and 1 out, here's Nick Hundley, the last Giant to reach. Darvish has retired 8 in a row since his single in the 2nd. Ball 1. Falls off, 1-1. The 33-year-old veteran catcher Nick Hundley is in his 10th season in the majors. Former Padre, former Oriole for a short time, and then the last 2 years in Colorado. Behind a fastball, 1-2. A pop fly. Who wants it? Yasiel Puig takes charge and makes the catch for out number 2.
Even the Giant fans will appreciate a right fielder that takes charge out there on a pop-up that somebody needs to catch.
I think especially the Giants fans right now. Uncharacteristic of Hunter Pence.
Uncharacteristics of the San Francisco Giants. They have been the team in the division for years that you always kind of say they have the it factor, where they're on top of every detail. But it has not been there this year.
Pablo Sandoval with a strikeout his first time up, 2 for his last 52. That included an 0 for 39 stretch. It's Reyes Moronta. Sandoval hadn't seen a pitch he doesn't want to swing at, I think, in this series so far.
When he is good, he didn't care about strikes or balls. He just hit the ball. See ball, hit ball. Neck high, shin high, wherever it was.
Going up with this one, and he chases for strike 3. 10 in a row retired by Yu Darvish through 5 in a 4-0 game. Time for our Coors Banquet timeless moment. Dodgers about to see Dusty Baker's Washington Nationals. On this date in 1977, when Dusty was playing for the Dodgers, set a franchise record by getting 5 RBIs in 1 inning. Had a 2-run double, then hit a 3-run homer, all in the same inning against San Diego. In a game the Dodgers scored 18 runs in, one shy of the franchise record. That is strike 1 on Yu Darvish, who is now batting left-handed.
With the armor on, that valuable right pitching arm.
Kyle Crick strikes him out on 3 pitches. Dusty Baker's given name is Johnny. Got the nickname when he was a boy. They had a huge backyard growing up in Riverside, California, size of a football field, beautiful lawn, except for this one spot in the middle of the lawn where they could never get grass to grow, so it was always muddy there. For whatever reason, when Dusty was a toddler, that was the only spot he wanted to play in. And his mom didn't want to nickname him Dirty, so she went with Dusty. I don't know, Dirty Baker's a pretty cool name, but Dusty is too.
Sweatbands and a toothpick he manages with.
It's got a good team there.
It sure does.
They got routed tonight by Atlanta. Back-to-back blowout losses for the Nationals against the Braves. And so the Dodgers lead in the National League for the best record is a full 5 games. Three balls and a strike on Chris Taylor. Taylor flies one to center field for Denard Span, and the second out of the 6th.
Sunday, September 24th is Fan Appreciation Day at Dodger Stadium, and you could win some fantastic prizes during the final game of the San Francisco Giants series that begins at 1:10 that day. For tickets and a list of prizes that includes a pair of 2018 season tickets and a trip to spring training, visit Dodgers.com/fan appreciation.
Is there really just one more homestand left?
Yeah, and I volunteered us today for one of the prizes. 4 tickets to a game, a meet and greet with us up in the booth, and put the headset on for a couple innings with your 4 people you bring to the game.
Nice.
And listen to the broadcast up there with us. No microphone on that headset.
Seager rolls to Crawford, who throws him out, and the inning is over. To the bottom of the 6th we go after 1, 2, 3, top half from Kyle Crick.
Volkswagen replay, and it is featuring Yu Darvish in his outstanding outing here tonight. He's had it all working for him. He's got a big 0 still up there on the board. The fastball's been elevated. The slider for a strike has been very sharp.
4 Ks over those 5 shutout innings. He's retired 10 straight. Kelby Tomlinson fouls off his first pitch of the 6th. Dodgers looking for somebody to step forward and say, I'm the number 2 going into October. Had a few guys clamoring for that several weeks ago, month ago, when Darvish was first acquired. Alex Wood was still pitching really well. Rich Hill was coming off pitcher of the month performance in July. Now looking for one of those guys to reemerge over the final couple weeks of this regular season.
When Yu was acquired, it was pretty much a challenge to all the other starters that weren't named Kershaw on who's going to step up, because he looked like he was for sure going to be the number 2. The way he's throwing the ball here tonight, he's trying to take hold of that position again. Kenta Maeda responded. Ryu responded. Wood was still hurt. And Rich Hill almost had a perfecto.
Fouled off, still 1-2. You mentioned Hyun-Jin Ryu. Dave Roberts announcing today that he'll start on Sunday in Washington. After getting skipped this time through a simulated game here yesterday. Alex Wood on Friday, Rich Hill on Saturday, then Ryu Sunday against Steven Strasburg. High fly ball, but lazy into right for Hernandez. That'll be the 3rd time this year that Hyun-Jin Ryu has pitched on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. And he was fabulous each of the first 2 times. Once against these Giants, once in New York against the Mets.
He really responds to big situations. He has pretty much the same pulse rate all the time, but it seems like the big games and the games that are highlighted a little bit more gets him amped up a little bit more, and he throws the ball very well.
Ryder Jones pinch hitting here. Was a late scratch from the lineup, under the weather, but well enough to make a pinch hit appearance in the pitcher's spot here. Just an FYI, the television coverage of the weekend series a little bit different. Saturday is exclusively on Fox. It's a 10:05 a.m. start time in Los Angeles. Sunday exclusively ESPN. We'll be back with you on Monday in Philly. Pummeled foul. Way foul.
The earliest the Dodgers can clinch is Sunday in Washington. Depends on what Arizona's doing tonight. But it's a little more feasible that they could clinch the end of the time in Philly. They can keep winning their fair share, and Arizona can keep losing their fair share.
Don't hold your breath tonight. 8-1 Diamondbacks, 8th inning.
So the magic number will only go down 1 if the Dodgers finish this one off.
Did he offer? He did. Strike 3. The 5th for Darvish, and the Giants still in search of their first base runner since the 2nd inning.
You be the umpire, even though the call's already been made. It's one of the grayest areas in baseball rules is the check swing.
Quick visit from Barnes. Hunter Pence coming up. One for 2 tonight. It's one of the 2 hits the Giants have. He singled to open the night. And then Nick Hundley singled in the 2nd. Darvish has retired 12 in a row since. Line drive to right. Puig is there. Make it 13 straight retired by Yu Darvish. And still just at 81 pitches. Much better tonight. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Carl's Jr., the 2 for $2.50 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuit. Now at Carl's Jr. Corey Guerin, the latest Giants pitcher, on to the 7th inning with the Dodgers in front 4-0.
Corey's thrown the ball very well over his last 20 outings or so, an ERA below 1.7. And you see the overall ERA at 2.18. Pretty good year.
Facing the heart of the Dodge order, here's Justin Turner. Doubled and scored his last time. Dodgers got 2 in the first inning. An RBI triple from Bellinger, RBI double from Forsythe, and then 2 in the 5th. After Turner's double, Bellinger hit a 2-run homer. Strike 2.
The wind is just screaming out there tonight.
Two and two on Turner. Always unpredictable, the wind here. And there are no flags that you can read as an outfielder.
Especially that one.
That wouldn't do you any good. Outfielders will tell you just have to consistently pick up grass, toss that in the air, and see what the conditions are close to you. That one rides inside and hits Turner, and he's aboard to open the 7th. You can look around the park at any given time and see different flags doing entirely different things. Top tier play of the game brought to you by Arco. Cody Bellinger's 2-run home run needed no wind to get out of here.
Picked on a high pitch and he stayed on top of it, didn't pop it up, made a beautiful swing.
His team leading 37th of the year. Strike one. You know, Cody would like to get to 40. He's human. This time of year, you can find a lot of guys on the brink of landmark numbers like that. You probably got to fight human nature to avoid trying to get to those numbers.
If you have a consistent approach and a home run surprises you, even though you are somebody that hits a lot of them, it wouldn't be something that would creep in as much as a guy who has different swings for different types of hits. If you got a line drive singles hitter that all of a sudden is having a good power year, he normally, let's say, hits 3 to 5 home runs, but for some reason he's at 12 or 13 and he'd love to get 15 for the first time in his career. That might hurt a guy like that. But Cody's swing is one that the home run trajectory comes naturally.
This could be 2. Crawford bobbles in time, a double play, and the question will be, did he have control of it when he stepped over second?
Cody looked like he was out for sure at first. Let's take a look at what Justin was for sure. Yeah, he's out.
Yep. A double play wipes the bases clean. After Forsythe's RBI doubled in the first, he's twice struck out tonight.
Is that pad on his foot there new? That right foot has a black pad on it now.
Your right.
Yeah, my right. Thank you.
So you're wrong, you're right.
Okay. Sounds like a rap song.
Well, I've got a bit of a background in that. 2-0. Now, the injury was on his right side, right big toe. Set him out for a month earlier this season. Your left.
I am totally mixed up.
Strike one.
This is just the type of pitcher too that if he runs that two-seam fastball in on you as a righty and it's down by the knees, you can have a tendency to hit it off your left foot.
Two and two.
A little low home look there of a frisbee slider coming at you. Take a look at that slider going the other way. Sinker coming at you inside as a righty, then that slider moving away.
See what he goes with here on 2-2. Slider, and Forsythe takes it. Full count. Here comes a payoff. He walked him. With Logan Forsythe headed down to first and standing up there waiting for Guerin to deliver that pitch. Did you see any of the news recently that there's a lot of momentum behind a pitch clock for Major League Baseball?
I could see that.
Some meetings that the members of the Players Association had with Rob Manfred recently. The initial ask from Major League Baseball was a 20-second pitch clock. And they've had that in the minors, AA and AAA, for a few years. Apparently it's not been too much of a distraction there. That's strike one on Barnes. The issue would come with runners on base. You'd think that they would have to get rid of the pitch clock then.
Yeah, how are you going to throw over to first and then get more time? First baseman has to get it back to you in a certain amount of time, and you have to then get on the rubber and throw the next pitch within a certain time. But what if you pick off again? And what's the penalty? Is it a ball?
Yeah, I don't know that they've gotten that far.
If we get to a point where you're going to win and lose a game because you know, didn't get the pitch off in time.
One of the issues that they cite, and they're talking about the need for it, is game time. On pace to be the longest average game time by a pretty wide margin we've ever seen. Baltimore chop, and backing up downhill is Corey Guerin to make the play to get Barnes. And we stretch at AT&T Park in a 4-0 game. As always, presented by 76. The team will make the 5-hour flight to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. The 3 with the Nationals starting on Friday. We'll be with you Friday night, but then Saturday is exclusively on Fox, Sunday exclusively on ESPN, before the road trip continues on and finishes in Philadelphia. For the first time since his debut as a Dodger, Darvish pitches into the 7th.
Having a really good outing, only giving up 2 hits. A couple other hard hit balls, but they have found Yasiel Puig's glove.
Last of those 2 hits came in the 2nd. He's retired 13 in a row. 2, 3, and 4 in this inning. Span and Posey to follow Parker. As the Dodgers try to make it back-to-back wins to drop that magic number to 8. Floater to right center, base hit. First base runner for the Giants since the 2nd comes on Jared Parker's leadoff single.
Baseball is not an exact science. Parker ripped the ball to Yasiel Puig in his last at bat. It was an out. That one he barely got a hit.
Denard Span. Only guy in this Giants lineup that had previously seen Darvish open his career in the American League with the Twins. A strike. You're talking about the pitch clock. Somebody that would impact would be Yu Darvish, who is the slowest worker in baseball as far as starting pitchers go. How long would that have taken you to get used to?
No time at all.
Never took 20 seconds between pitches?
The longest I wanted to take and was doing on purpose when I thought I had a hitter up there that was on everything that I was throwing, and I was trying to turn that at bat into a new and fresh at bat by delaying. But it's a strategic delay. I would say in general about 90% of the time I wanted to get back on the rubber and throw the ball quickly. And especially when you're throwing the ball well. After reading the golf book by Dave Pelz, the rocket scientist, and he talked about how when you do something well, the way for your brain to remember what you did and to be able to repeat it is to do it as quickly as under 12 seconds. And so when you take a great practice stroke on a putt or a great practice swing in golf on your drive, and you feel that it's really good, get in there and hit the shot before about 10 to 12 seconds is up, and your brain can actually replay it.
Span carves out a fly ball to left center field. No big deal for Chris Taylor. One away. I mentioned the game time being up. On average, 3 hours, 5 minutes, 30 seconds right now across Major League Baseball. Last year they set a record right at 3 hours. So the average game time has picked up 5 minutes this year.
My number one suggestion, but I don't know how to do it, is to some way find a way to record an out for every ball that is in the first 6 rows of the stands. Because we are actually playing extra inning games every night across Major League Baseball compared to the old way the stadiums were configured and the amount of territory that's in where you can record an out.
Posey on the first pitch sends a soft pop fly that Hernandez catches and turns into a double play. Kike Hernandez streaks under it and shows off that cannon to finish the inning.
Outstanding range with the legs and then an accurate and strong throw. He can play any position, infield or outfield. Proved it right there.
Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo. A small fries and a small drink. Limited time only. Kike Hernandez finished off the 7th inning with a fantastic defensive play. And leads off this 8th against the new Giants pitcher, Reyes Moronta. That one got a piece of Hundley's hand. Second time the Dodgers have seen Moronta in this series. It's a big fella.
He is a big fella with a big fastball. Averages around 96 miles an hour. Slider and a curveball also. No changeup. Can spin the ball.
Brandon Morrow. Kike back to the pine tar helmet. Down on a slider. So Hernandez 0 for 4 tonight. Up comes Yasiel Puig, who right now is 1 for 3. We'll see if it remains that way. He happened to join us a little bit later tonight. He had a pop fly into right that fell right between Hunter Pence and Kelby Tomlinson, but was ruled an error on the right fielder. Grounds the first pitch to Tomlinson at second. 2 up. So the night officially coming to an end for you, Darvish, as Andre Ethier is announced as the pinch hitter here in the 8th inning. What a night it was for Darvish, thrusting himself back into probably that number 2 spot when you're looking ahead of the postseason rotation. Still plenty of time to go, but making the latest best case for it.
Threw the ball outstanding, and speaking of outstanding, Andre Ethier has had some outstanding at bats in his limited playing time. Dave Roberts has talked about him getting a start in Washington. Continue to take a look at him to see if he is ready to make the postseason roster. Really trying to match the pattern that he had last year, where he was rehabbing most of the year and then did make some September at bats and did well and made the postseason roster and had a couple of hits and a home run.
Borderline strike puts him in a 1-2 hole.
I think anybody in the Dodge organization right now, with what Andre has shown, would be very comfortable in having him in the batter's box in a key situation.
Something to be said for a guy who has seen a lot, been around 12 years, longest tenured Dodger. Looks at strike 3. Moronta with a 1-2-3-8. after the game. These guys will wrap up Jerry's little putting session there and bring you Access Sports now, brought to you by your Southern California Nissan dealers. They hope recapping a second consecutive Dodger win. No, he pulled it. Here's Morrow and a 4-0 game to the bottom of the 8th.
Brandon Morrow on for back-to-back nights. This will be the 6th time this year with his 40th appearance that he has gone in back-to-back nights, and the most he's worked in 4 days has been 3 out of 4 nights. The only time in the playoffs that you would have to go 3 days in a row is in a 7-game series, right in the middle of a series. If it's a 5-game series, back-to-back nights is possible. It's something you could definitely see from Brandon Morrow in October.
Brandon Crawford in there to greet him. Swings over the top of a slider for strike 1. Yep, in the 5-game series, it's game 1, game 2, day off. Game 3, game 4, day off. Game 5. It's foul. 7-game series, games 1 and 2, travel day. Games 3, 4, and 5, travel day. Games 6 and 7.
And the way it is going now in today's culture, the bullpen pieces can be just as important or even more important than the starters.
It was the first World Series ever last year where the bullpen pitched more innings than the rotation. 0-2. Got it on Crawford's hands. And Turner with a sliding catch. Kind of in no man's land there. And Brandon Morrow figured that one of his infielders coming in had a better chance than him going down the back of the mound to catch it.
When this ball goes up, of course, Corey Seager takes a little half step back. Justin Turner, because of the way they were shifted, and he was in really the closest to the ball to start. Logan Forsythe with a left-handed hitter was a little deeper. Justin Turner the best shot and made the catch.
For the first out of the 8th in front of Nick Hundley. Goes after the first one. High fly ball. Yasiel Puig leaps up and can't quite get it.
It's a little bit of an example of what I was talking about the first 6 rows being an automatic out. I know that's really not what the pictures are showing, but baseball has done a great job building the new stadiums and bringing the fans closer to the action. But in doing that, you have lengthened the games because you can't record outs in that territory where you've brought the fans in and they have a much better view.
I'm glad you brought that up again. There was a final out of the inning right after you'd made that comment, so I didn't get to follow up on it. So really, in that regard, there is no solution.
Well,
I mean, what, you're not going to cut out?
Yeah, we're adjusting. We're attempting to adjust time of game through areas where we've never really touched before. Where we have touched the territory as far as where you can record an out, and everybody's creeped in. And in my own language, vernacular, I've kind of called it more arena baseball compared to the way the old stadiums were configured, and what we've even done to old stadiums like Dodger Stadium and brought fans in closer, which I think is great for the game and great for fans to be as close to the action as possible. But that, for me, is one of the main reasons the games are longer, because there are a good 3 to 6 balls that'll end up in the first 6 to 8 rows of the ballpark that used to be caught, and now they're just strikes.
Morrow struck out Nick Hundley and now delivers ball 1 to Pablo Sandoval.
And if the guy who is rescued by the lack of foul territory is still at the plate and then gets a hit, now you have a visit from a pitching coach, you have a guy getting up in the bullpen. I mean, there's an extended amount of time other than just an out's not recorded with the guy still up there at the plate. And you think about what it's like when a team makes an error and you go, well, that error killed them because they got the 4th out. Well, that's 6 half innings where possibly an extra out is given to the offensive team.
It's one of the beautiful things about baseball, though, is that every park is unique.
And it was always unique as far as it, but it's just every park is unique, but is not unique in the fact that they've all lost foul territory.
Sandoval cracks a high drive to right center field. Chris Taylor's got it spotted, and the inning is over. Brandon Morrow with a 1-2-3-8 on to the ninth in San Francisco.
Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Land Rover, above and beyond.
Final time in San Francisco for the Dodgers this season, and 3 defensive outs away from winning a series in this ballpark for the first time in almost exactly 3 years. September 12th to the 14th, 2014. They took 2 of 3 from the Giants, and with a 4-0 lead, trying to take this rubber game. Chris Taylor leading off the ninth for the Dodgers against Hunter Strickland, and sending a fly ball into center. Who wants it? Span for the first out. Well, Hunter Strickland, Georgia native, veteran reliever, on to try and keep this a 4-0 game for San Francisco. Dodgers will see the Giants one more time, but it'll be at Dodger Stadium. Final weekend of the home schedule. Drive to center field. Spans back on it. Running out of room. It's off the wall. And Corey Seager cruises into second with an extra base hit. Those have been missing lately. Good to see him bang one off the wall in dead center.
It's a real pretty swing. Of course, it's on the first pitch. He usually attacks that. Ball was right down the middle, about waist high, and he hit it right back up the middle. Hit the wall about waist high.
Up comes Turner, who's reached 3 times tonight. A double, a walk, and he was hit. Strike one from Strickland, who's always dreamt of being a Major League Baseball pitcher. One of three brothers in the family growing up in Georgia. He and his brothers, when he was a kid, they nailed a plywood square to a tree. That was their strike zone until they put a hole in it from overuse and had to build another one. 1-1. Always are outdoors there in a place called Zebulon, Georgia, about an hour south of Atlanta. One stoplight town. There's a courthouse there built in the 1800s, and there's a Dairy Queen. One and two. Hunter Strickland was the guy in the altercation with Bryce Harper here earlier this year. Turner stays alive. Now, Turner, the numbers in the second half not nearly as good as the numbers in the first half. But rarely do you see a guy have two halves that are the same, or every month it's the same throughout the year. When you look back on a season, you're not looking at the splits by month or by half. You're looking at the big picture. And for Turner, right now, that big picture, really impressive. He's hitting .327 when you put it all together. Leaves his fastball up, and the count evens at 2-2.
Real hard to keep up the pace that he was on. A little bit slow as far as the power numbers coming this year, but as far as the batting average, he hovered around 400 for a long time.
Bounce it is short. Crawford throws him out, 2 away. They'll finish tonight 1 for 3 as Cody Bellinger comes up 2 for 4 with an RBI triple and a 2-run homer. And you talked about it during the pregame show. Waiting on Cody Bellinger to come back as that big power threat in the middle of the order. Walker Buehler getting ready for the bottom of the 9th.
And Cody was not going to stay silent very long. He had gone 35 at bats without a home run on the 36th one, which is the second longest streak of his career, his short career, without hitting a home run. And you can just see from that swing there on the first pitch that he could produce a home run with almost every swing. The only one swing that he won't probably ever produce a home run on is that little chop swing sometimes against really tough pitchers in situations where he wants to beat a shift or just get a base hit to left and make contact. He's developed a little shorter swing, but when he takes his full swing, he's got great arc to it to hit the ball in the air.
It's pretty awesome that a guy with 37 home runs has developed that little swing you're talking about, though.
Yeah, it's almost part of an emergency hack that he can take the emergency hack and make it effective for a base hit.
He's had 2-1.
The other thing he's done throughout the year is he's gotten rid of a lot of the collapse in the backside. So the swing arc is coming more from what he's doing with his hands and his shoulders now than dropping his back knee.
And they've put him on intentionally after getting him to 3 balls. That's the 4th intentional walk in the last 2 games of Bellinger. It gets Forsythe up there with runners at the corners and 2 gone, and the Dodgers in front 4-0, getting 2 runs in the first tonight and 2 runs in the 5th. Forsythe knocked in one of those runs for the first inning double. Also has a walk tonight. Strickland deals 1-0. There goes Bellinger on a ball low. Throw down. Seager headed home. Throws spot on to cut him down and finish the inning. Shelby Tomlinson gets Seager, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. The Dodgers 3 outs away from a shutout win.
The 2018 Dodger family by signing up now for the season seat or mini plan wait list. Registered fans will be contacted by a Dodger season ticket representative on a first come first served basis. Visit Dodgers.com/season tickets or call 866-DODGERS today.
At the bottom of the 9th, it's Walker Buehler, who had a rude awakening in his second major league outing, throwing a 99-mile-per-hour fastball that Mark Reynolds turned around for a grand slam. And a lesson learned, I'm sure.
Yeah, you really learn that a big league hitter can time a bullet, and it's about location and movement, and then changing that location and movement.
Shelby Tomlinson looks at strike 1.
The tools for Walker Buehler are off the charts, and just learning how to use them is where he's at in his development right now.
Oh, and 2.
It is a very quick arm.
Barnes wants it up. Buehler left it a little bit lower than he wanted, but it's grounded to second, and a quick out here in the ninth.
With Walker's tools, he can have a little bigger spray pattern to get away with certain mistakes and places where he would say, oh, I didn't want it there, but it's still going to be hard to hit with his elite life and velocity.
A pinch hitter here, Joe Panik. A curve, ball one. Are we seeing him take just a touch off, or are we seeing a difference in guns here? Because it's been 96, 95 so far.
It might be just a I don't think he's taking a touch off. It just might be one of those nights where he's 96, 97. That looked a little bit more compact and not quite as aggressive in a 2-0 pitch.
95. Big breaking ball, another ground ball. Logan Forsythe throws Joe Panik out, and 2 gone in the 9th inning.
He has a curveball, but if he really harnesses it, it would become a snapdragon. He's going to throw it so hard, and it's going to break really sharp.
That sounds nasty.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Hunter Pence, last hope for the Giants. '97, hardest one he's thrown, but it's ball one. This would be the Dodgers' 14th shutout win of the year.
In your priority list in your head prior to the pitch, if he could just take location and put it ahead of velocity. Instead of velocity and let's see where the location is, I want to go to that area, make it location, and the velocity is just natural.
Is that the case for most guys, or just elite guys like this?
That's kind of that line where you're talking about a thrower and a pitcher.
90 on this one, 2-2.
That was a slider. He's still refining his mechanics too, and being around Rick Honeycutt, that was one of the main reasons they wanted to call him up, to get eyes on him, or Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt, but get him around the big league staff again and have him start to work with Walker.
Big bouncer. Buehler's got it, gets rid of it, but it pulls Bellinger off the bag, and the Giants not quite done yet.
They rule that a base hit.
It's on to the 4th of the night for the Giants.
Cody Bellinger has been very good at rescuing throws over there in the dirt and that are elevated. Tried to keep his foot on the bag, but just couldn't do it.
I think that throw to first is probably 95. 2 outs, Jared Parker. He has one of those 4 hits, all of which, by the way, are singles. Giants haven't had an inning where they've had more than 1 base runner tonight. 7 solid innings, Yu Darvish. Then Morrow with the 8th, and Buehler trying to finish things off. Pence takes second. Austin Barnes out to the mound, and Kenley Jansen out to the bullpen.
Austin going over to signs with a man on second, but also giving Kenley Jansen a little time to mosey down there in case he needs to start warming up, and he is starting to just toss a ball.
Fielder lets the 1-1 go, and it's punched by third. A fair ball that'll get the Giants on the board. RBI single for Jared Parker. It's a 4-1 game. The Giants now one base runner away from making this really interesting.
Kenley Jansen will start to throw in earnest because this ball, he just absolutely saws him off. But it just happens to find the line. Sometimes the spray pattern will change against a guy who has this kind of elite velocity. The big fella's getting hot.
How about how close the fans are to the bullpens here? I think I could reach out and touch Jansen while he's warming up.
Wouldn't be a good idea, but anything that's coming over there as far as talking from Giant fans could give you a little enthusiasm.
A little motivation, a little juice.
Yep.
Well, Denard Span trying to keep the line moving for Buster Posey. Span can reach. Posey would come up representing the tying run. Said it last night, and the game has forced us to say it again. It's never easy. Not for the Dodgers. Parker will take second on a strike at 97. Ball one. That one had Span way out in front of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Starting early, guessing fastball or visualizing fastball, but gets a breaking ball. It's about a 56-footer.
So the Dodgers a strike away now from taking this series from San Francisco. Fielder has one that he likes. The 1-2 fouled off. Grounded gently up along first. It rolls foul.
Good head there by Walker Buehler, not panicking as that ball is hugging the line. Make sure that it's foul and picks it up.
Go ahead.
He's showing a lot of poise right here. You know, the chopper off the plate, the jam shot down the line, now having to battle the middle of the order. Man on second, even though it's a 3-run lead still. He's had some tough breaks coming off an outing where he had a real rough one, and he's continuing to pound the strike zone and make pitches.
Ahead of Denard Span, 10-year major league veteran, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Giants trying to get Posey to the plate in the 9th. Buehler fires 1-2. He struck him out. Back-to-back wins for the Dodgers, and for the first time in 3 years, they've taken a series from the Giants at AT&T Park. Magic number to clinch a 5th consecutive division title, down to 7.
Started the game with Darvish, and the rotation needed to respond. Well, Darvish did. Those 7 innings were outstanding. 87 pitches, 5 Ks. The rotation starting to fall back into place.
And Darvish, our Lexus player of the game with those 7 shutout innings to get back in the winning column. Giants got on the board with a 1 run in the 9th inning against Buehler, but all in all, well-pitched game by the Dodgers. The 7 from Darvish, 1 from Morrow, and then Buehler able to finish things off in the 9th inning. So the Dodgers back to their winning ways against their most hated rival. They hit the road again tomorrow to head to Washington, D.C. for a big series with the Nationals over the weekend, trying to extend that lead for the best record in the NL. Home field advantage throughout the National League playoffs. That does it for us. Access Sportsnet brought to you by your Southern California Nissan dealers now.